All aboard! What's up, Kyou fam? This is Godzilla Chain 1090. Soaring Chain says today with a brand new review. And today, we're going to talk about something that's very different from what I usually collect. I mean, I know me, I'm not really huge on collecting articulated figures, but as far as any articulated figures go, if there was a grail that I needed, it was this SOB right here. Today, we're going to be talking about the Triple K Godzilla 1989 from MonsterArts, sculpted by Yuji Sakai himself. Now, y'all know how I am about 1989 Godzilla. It's my Godzilla vs. Violence is my second favorite Godzilla movie. 1989 is my second favorite Godzilla design. So, when I started collecting, I did collect some articulated figures, but it was really just the NECA figures I started collecting. I always thought MonsterArts was overpriced to do the same thing as NECA. Yeah, they're more suit accurate, but for the money, I was okay with NECA. I did have a few MonsterArts pieces here and there, but I mean, I'm not really that much of a fan of them, to be honest. But if there was one, absolutely one I had to get, it was him. It was him. I've been scoping this figure out for a very long time. If there are any grails for SH MonsterArts figures that I had, it was this and this only. This is absolute fantastic, incredible, beautiful, lovely, bigger figure. And I'm really excited to talk about this guy. I really am. This thing is a dream come true. I mean, think about it, guys. In the 90s, we had guys, make me sound old. We had the Trap Masters Godzilla figures, and I mean, those had points of articulation and they had the warring effect. But what makes this guy so special is all the features he has. He has 3 or 4 different wars. He has the theme song when you play it, and I'm gonna show all that off right now with my up close and personal section of the video. Of course, I'm doing a demonstration of everything that this guy has to offer, and y'all will see why, even all these years later, that this is a very, very awesome 80s MonsterArts figure, and why it's the only one that I really have in my collection. All right, go ahead and start talking about it, and let's go ahead and get into it. I'll pull the camera up closer, do it up close and personal with this bad boy right now. Thank you.
And here he is, the Kyoku SH MonsterArts 1989 Godzilla. This is a very fun figure. A lot of awesome features come with this figure. So this is actually how you actually activate all the features and everything. So of course you're gonna hear the wars and the background music all through this figure. So I'm trying not to talk too much through it. I'm still gonna give y'all my like how I usually do my reviews, but with a little extra twist. So of course you see right here that you see the light up feature from the mouth and the dorsal plates. And really, to get all the different types of settings, you just have to keep pressing the back middle of his dorsal plate near the top of his neck, and you'll get a few different features. Again, here's his dorsal plate standing up again, so he can blow his atomic breath, and you can really hear how loud this thing is. For such a small figure, it's really loud, and I really like that a lot, actually. And of course, if you hold down on it, that's when one of Godzilla's marches starts playing. So I really like that. Of course, we have to go over the articulation. Of course, the mouth, if I can focus here. Of course, the mouth is articulated, as well as he has a lot of different points of articulation. There's a lot of different points of articulation to this figure, not just the mouth. And hopefully, me talking over it can stop me from getting hit with copyright infringements, because I mean, I got to show off the figure, right? So I've got to put a little bit of Godzilla's music. But as I was saying a moment ago, This figure does have a lot of articulation. This is a really nice figure. He's actually a little. He's bigger than most 80s MonsterArts figures and really NECA figures as well. Standing at a whopping about 8 inches tall. As you see here, he's scaled with some of the buildings that I have and I use for my photography. And you see he sizes up pretty well. That's one reason why this was one of the only SH MonsterArts figures I wanted to get, is because of how big he is. As you see here, with this a better shot of him with the buildings and tanks and stuff. He is a bigger figure, and I really do enjoy bigger figures as it is. But especially since this is an 80s MonsterArts, I don't really collect the line themselves. I'm really happy that this is a bigger figure. Of course, we'll play some more of the features here. I'm pretty sure I can hear it in the background. But I'll go ahead and start off the articulation now. Again, we have the articulation in the mouth, the neck, have a few joints in the neck that we can move around. Even though I find it funny that that's where the activation is for the figure, but whatever. Of course, his arms move, which his arms actually do have a whole lot of articulation to them. Of course, his feet move, his kneecap, his foot. His tail has quite a bit of articulation as well. The only thing that doesn't really move on this figure is the body. And that's because that's what everything is activated for Godzilla. It's actually activated in the body. I'll show y'all towards in the video how you would turn it on and everything. But that does leave a little bit to be desired. Since you can't really move his body, that's okay with me, because I can still find ways to get different shots from him. But of course, I know we gotta do some size comparisons. So let me go and get started on that right now. And of course, for the first size comparison, we're going to go with the Super 7 Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Power Ranger series. Now, as you see, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is a little bit bigger than Godzilla, but they're just about the same size. They're both in 8-inch scale. Just the Tyrannosaurus has a little bit of height on them, but I honestly got the inspiration for this from the Godzilla and Power Rangers comic book that came out recently. And I've been reading up on it, and I actually really do enjoy the comic, so I had to have fun with this. Especially since I don't have the Dragon Zord or the Megazord yet. I was like, you know what? T-Rex was always my favorite anyways. Let me go and just show him off with this real quick. But I do think these two figures do look pretty awesome together. I'm glad I do have both of them in my collection. But of course, for the last size comparison, I'll go ahead and do it with one of the other lines, NECA. And this is the 1989 NECA Godzilla figure. Now, for the time, NECA was really, really good. I actually did like NECA quite a bit, actually. I honestly don't have any issues with NECA. But you can clearly see the differences between these two figures. The 80s MonsterArts figure is much, much bigger than the NECA figure. As I stated earlier, since the NECA is only 6 inches, and the NECA 89 is 6 inches, and the 80s MonsterArts 89 is 8 inches. So you can definitely see the height difference there. And you can actually see you can actually see the quality difference between the two too. Granted that for the price, the NECA 1989 Godzilla isn't a terrible figure. It doesn't hold up to the 80s MonsterArts figure, which I know 80s MonsterArts has been getting a lot of heat coming from higher lately. So heaven forbid they start doing what they did for this figure with higher figures. Yeah, 80s MonsterArts gonna be in some trouble. And of course, I know we gotta have a size comparison with the original Kong himself, the 1933 NECA King Kong. Now, as you see, the tip of Kong's head is a little bit taller than Godzilla's, but as you see, they look great together. Honestly, they really do. I'm sure Leslie will get a kick out of how big Kong is, and Eric Stope will be pissed off about it. But I honestly think these two do look really nice together, to be honest. They're both really, really nice looking figures. Kong looks way better than the NECA 89 Godzilla, so they actually do look great together. Kong looks very accurate to how he looks in the movie. Godzilla, of course, is completely accurate because, of course, y'all know this is a Yuji Sakai scope. So you know that Yuji Sakai had to put his mark on it because you know how much he loves the Heisei Godzilla figures. But all right, I'll go give you my final thoughts on this right now. Thank you.
Kyoku, 1989 Godzilla. Now, as I did demonstrate in the video, there are a lot of awesome features with this figure. And of course, the main selling point for me is the how much work Yuji Sakai put into making this Godzilla. I mean, y'all know Yuji Sakai. He loves 89 Godzilla. He loves Heisei Godzilla in general. We have for X Plus we have 289s and 289s, 391s, 84, 54, Shin, 2002, 1995, 1992. So as you just heard me list, most of the Yuji Sakai figures are of the Heisei Godzilla. So he really does love Heisei Godzilla. You can really tell in this sculpt how great he does look by himself, honestly. And even with the X Plus 1989 Godzilla, which I'll insert a picture right here, it looks great as well. You see the likeness of both of these figures. They both look absolutely unreal, and they just look incredible. Like there's nothing really else I can really say about it. This thing looks incredible. The features are every Godzilla kid's dreams come true. And of course, if you do need help, I actually was able to get this brand spanking new. So I do have the box, but I don't have it with me at the moment. But don't forget, it does come with a owner's manual telling you exactly how to be able to use this beast. Honestly, the only thing I used it for was to see how to switch them on and everything. That is one thing I didn't show y'all in the up close and personal look, so I'm trying to do it right now. So to be able to turn this bad boy on, you just have to dislodge him from the hip. Which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very heavy-handed, so I'm always scared to take it off of there like that. But you separate it from the body, and then right here, if you can see it, there's a little on and off switch. Turn it on, and that's how you know he's on. Put it back together, and voila. So again, this Godzilla is very, very, very awesome. I'm absolutely in love with it. I've already gotten some pictures of it. I plan on trying to do a little bit more photography with it. Nothing on the level of obviously like the Figure Mania shows Harold Ruiz, but I'm trying my best because I really do love this figure. I want to give this figure love, and I do want to get a little bit better with my photography for my articulated figures. So it's gonna be an interesting journey trying to get this guy's shots exactly how I want them. But I am really excited to get more photos of this guy to share with everybody. Again, I'm really happy I got this design. I'm really happy I got this figure. I have zero regrets. I'm absolutely in love. But that's all I got for this video for y'all today. Of course, at the time of this recording, in a couple weeks, we're actually going to be doing our next show for Monsters of Attitude on May 20th, and it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a very fun show. The original plan was to talk about the 1998 film Zilla, but we're going to hold off on that a little bit longer, and we're actually going to have a discussion that we talked about doing last year that we're going to do this year, but a little bit differently. So if you have followed us on Monsters of Attitude, you know that last year we did do the best X Plus 25 centimeter figure of all time. We did do that show last year, and really, that show hasn't really been eclipsed as far as like who we thought who the winner was for that. But this year we're going bigger. We have to discuss the best 30 centimeter X Plus Godzilla figures. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. We're tossing out everything. Sakai's, FSL, regular 30 centimeter scopes. We're throwing it all out there. And it's going to be a battle to the death. I don't know who's going to win. And we're going to do it differently than we did last year. Because for the 25 centimeter show, we kind of had everybody vote in the groups and stuff. But we're putting the pressure on y'all. Because we're going to be voting live during the show. And I'm really excited to see who's going to come out on top for this battle. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this show. That's why we're taking a little bit of extra time to get that show up and running, so we can bring y'all a great show, so we can vote live and figure out what is the best 30 centimeter X plus figure. And it's gonna be great. I cannot wait. So if there's any contenders y'all feel like should be included in that show, put it down in the comment section. If you do like what you saw here, like the video and subscribe if you haven't. But that's all I got for y'all guys today. Remember, of course, also follow us and give us a subscribe on Monsters of Attitude on YouTube. And if you really enjoy talking about kaiju, especially kaiju collectibles, join us on Kaiju Collectors on Facebook. We have a great team over there. No drama. We just there to talk about our love for kaiju. But all right, hope you'll have a fantastic night, kaiju family.